Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Sunflower Tasha DIYs. I'm Tasha and I love to do arts, crafts, DIYs, recreations, and thrift flips on my channel. So for project number one, it's just going to be a simple, easy project that I've seen a lot of other crafters do, but they actually had wreaths. The wreath, and I don't have the wreath, so I'm going to figure out a way to make my own. Now, I'm using those bamboo wreaths from the Dollar Tree that come in the 2-pack. And here I don't end up doing it this way, but I just wanted to show you, that this is what I tried first and it actually did not stay, so you'll see what I end up doing. So I took 3 of my fuzzy sticks, Chanel stems, pipe cleaners, whatever you guys want to call them. And then I'm using this yarn that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around the Chanel stem all the way around, glue, and then keep going until you're done. So I'm going to pull out, and then I was like, wait a minute, let me get a measurement a little bit for you guys. So I have my ruler here, it's 18 inches long, and I'm going to do that 3 times for the smaller one, and then I do it 4.5 for the larger one. And I do have a little bit left over from each one of them, but I do use it later in the DIY, so you'll see. And then I'm showing you now that I glued the bigger one. Now I'm taking this fabric that I picked up from Joann's, but I did forget to show you guys earlier that I use those bamboo rings to trace out some circles here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. And now I'm going to take that wire and I'm going to attach it to the larger bamboo ring. And then I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this and secure it with the wire it's that black floral wire from the Dollar Tree. And I just did a little bit at the bottom, and then I ended up gluing on the side there. I ended up gluing more and more and more and more, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the sides as well, like this. And you want to make sure that you're pulling that wire pretty tight as you can. I tried to do the best I could, but it still works with the best I could. So I was like, oh, the tail's still not where I want it. And if you haven't noticed yet, I'm making a kitty cat. So now I'm going to be using my 3-in-1 tack glue here. I use it and a combination of the hot glue, so the hot glue would just hold it right now in place. And then, once it sets, it'll be ready to go. So that's all I did for that. And I'd go ahead and do the same thing to the top where the head would be. Like this. Super simple. All right, and then I just go ahead and flatten it out in the back to make sure everything's adhered. And then, you guys, I found these at Joann's. So these ones did not have any glitter on them, so I went ahead and used these ones because I did find 2 different picks from Joann's. But I'm going to use these candy corns for the ears. How adorable. I love it already. And then I just keep messing with that tail until I get it to where I feel it looks right. And then I also picked up this ribbon from Hobby Lobby. This other ribbon I believe was a Hobby Lobby ribbon, but I've had it in my stash for a very long time, so I'm not exactly sure where it came from. It might even came from Joann's once upon a time, because I used to work there a long time ago. And I just trim off one of the edges and then like the white edge on this bottom part because it was a little bit too thick, and then I also frayed it so you could still see the pattern of the thicker one, of the candy corn one. And then I just glued both ends down, and I'm just going to go ahead and make this kitty cat a bow tie. And I will go ahead and clean up this mess real quick. And then I was going to use that piece that I used, but then it started fraying. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. So I had to go dig in my stash to get out some black twine. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is tight as I can get it here. And just trim off the excess. And I will go ahead and fluff this and glue it down to the middle of the cat. Loving it. I have to trim off all the excess that was starting to fray. And there we are. All right, I used the 3-in-1 glue and I used a little bit of hot glue for the right now hold. And then I found these cute pumpkins at the Dollar Tree, you guys. How cute is this? And I wanted to add this on to this little cat in the center here. I thought that was a super adorable touch. And then I took the leftover piece that I had and I cut it in half so I can make the little cat paws. And it was 6 inches. Both of them were. So that's how much I had left over. And then I glued the little feet down at the bottom. And that's the rest of the piece that I had left over from the bigger one. I decided to make a hanger on the back with it so we could hang, be able to hang the cat. All right, and then I was like, wait a minute, the cat needs some whiskers, right? So then I took the floral black wire and I just made 3 little whiskers, and then I wrapped it at the other end. And then I just poked it into the sides here like this. But I'm also going to use some hot glue, and then I just cover it up with the fuzzy yarn so you couldn't see it. And then our little cat has some whiskers. I hope you guys enjoyed my first DIY, you guys. This one was my favorite one, and I had to show it first. Okay, so I joined this collaboration, Wreaths Galore. This was an open invite, and the host is the Grace Life DIY Home Decor, Crafting in Mimi's World, and then we have a bunch of co-hosts today. Buckeyes Girls Wreath and Things, At Home with Lisa, Creations by Simone, Maryland Cozy Lifestyle, Annalise Cupboard. I just recently joined a couple of these ladies' channels, so I'm super excited to get to know them. So project number 2, I'm just going to hop right into this one. This one was super easy and super fast. I am going to continue to use that chunky yarn. That reform, I believe, came from the Dollar Tree, but I'm not exactly sure because I've had it in my stash for a long time and I absolutely do not remember where it came from. So I'm using that ribbon again that I picked up from Joann's. You guys, I had the hardest time finding candy corn stuff, but that's the only place I could find some stuff. And I did find a few things that I could have used, but I didn't want to from Michael's because it was rather out of my price range. And these little things were on sale at Joann's for like a few dollars, so I just went ahead and picked them up. And guess what, you guys? They have my least favorite thing all over them. There's me showing you my hands like, I'm covered in glitter. But you know what? I have to start making stuff that, not just because I like it, but because I don't like it as well. So I like to add stuff like that into my crafting, just because I like to sell things and not everybody likes what I like. So I have to make stuff for others as well. So this is something that I would not buy because of the glitter, but I want to make stuff like this for other people to sell, when I do booths and stuff like that. But I really love this one. This one really looked very high end to me along with the cat. So I just love it. I hope you guys love this too. And you'll have to let me know, was the cat your favorite or was this one your favorite? This one was super simple and super easy. The easiest wreath I think I've ever made, you guys. And I haven't made very many wreaths ever in my life. So I really liked this challenge. And I only thought I was going to be able to make 1, but I ended up making 3 because I am just ahead right now in my crafting. So that's amazing, right? And then I just made a little hanger with a Chanel stem. I want to take this time to thank the host and all the co-hosts for having me on the playlist, you guys, and all my subscribers. Make sure that you check my description box so you can watch all the other crafters that are in this collaboration as well. It's going to be amazing. So project number 3 and project number 4 are actually combined because I did a double-sided wreath. So I'm using this wreath ring from the Dollar Tree. It's the 8-inch one, some clothespins. I'm also going to use a little bit of these paints as well. And the first thing you want to do is go ahead and take out the clothespins and clip them onto your ring so you can see how many you're going to end up needing for the size ring that you wish to use. I used a pack and then a few out of the other pack. And then I'm just going to use one ring in this DIY that's going to be basically double-sided. All right, you just take them off like this, and then you want to go 2 in. So the first 2, oops, I didn't get it kind of very good there. And then you just want to go ahead and clip them all on here like this. And like I said, you want to see how many you're going to need for your project. All right. So I have this bucket of dye. It is yellow dye. I'm going to be using it. I already actually dyed a bunch of clothespins for a different DIY at the end of the month, but I wanted to go ahead and dye these ones as well just to make painting later a little bit easier for me. So I just submerged them with 2 paper plates, and then I have this vase. It's kind of a heavier vase, and then I filled it with water like this, and it submerged all my clothespins, and then I left it overnight and let them dry out the next day. Here we are. I'm going to use some tape to line them up all the way down. That way it's easier for me to paint these than trying to grab one and paint one here and there at a time. So this is how I'm doing it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up all the paints here. And the first thing I'm going to do is grab a watercolor brush here. And I'm going to paint the tips all in this orange pumpkin chalk paint from Folk Art. And I go all the way down just on the little tips. And then I go and I do a dry brush on all of the rest of them. And I try to cover up the metal too as well there with the yellow. And then I give it a quick dry. And then I'm going to take my distressed ink and I'm going to do just the tips of the orange like this. Okay, and then I'm going to take my chippy brush and use the white chalk paint from Folk Art. My yellow actually is still from Waverly. I have a little bit of it left. And I'm just going to paint them like that. Now, I show you me tracing out this size ring, but I also make a second one later of the outside ring. Oh, well, here we go. I thought I did it later in the video, but I apparently must have made it to where you didn't have to see that. Okay, and now we're just going to clip these on all the way around, and you want to kind of space them out like that. Now that I'm to the back of this, I'm taking this black and I just tied on the first one so it stays a little secure. I looped it around a couple times, and then I just started gluing it to the back of the clothespin so it looks like that to the left. Now I'm taking out the patterns and I'm gluing both of the patterns together like so. And you guys, I accidentally glued the larger one when the larger one I was supposed to actually do 2 small ones and not a large one because it kind of got lost here, but that's okay. I ended up improvising and using this around the edges like so. And this is one side, this is the other side. Okay, so for this side, I'm going to use this ribbon like I used before. And I believe this is the ribbon that comes from Joann's. Like I said, I used to work there, and I kind of have a little bit of some stuff from them too. Usually mostly ribbon, because I made sure to always get the ribbon when it was on sale when I worked there. And then I'll just glue this down right where those seams met, like that, so you couldn't see it. And then I went ahead and just glued those tails a little bit so they weren't flopping around. Now I'm going to take 2 sunflowers here, and I just stuck them down inside the clothespins. Same with the candy corns here, but I am going to secure the candy corns down in there with some hot glue like this. Excuse my head. All right, that's that one. And then I decided to take that extra piece that I had and make a hanger. So I cut open in between the 2 black ones, wrapped it around the wire, and then I tied a knot, and then I tucked the knot inside and then glued it back. So now I have a cute little hanger. Okay, so now I was going to use that last sunflower like I used on the other side, but it was way too big. So I went to my stash and found a littler one. Okay, and then I found this chipboard piece from Tim Holtz that said Wander. It's actually my last one out of my little chipboard package. That would not fit down in there, so I had to get me a smaller brush. And then I just have this Dream from the Dollar Tree. And I go ahead and just give it a white dry brushing effect here, like so. And then we'll dry it up. And then at first I used hot glue, you guys. And it did not stick at all. It literally fell off as soon as I turned it over. You will see that. Boop. And I went ahead and grabbed my 3-in-1, which I should have known that anyways. And this is like a tacky glue that works on just about everything. And then I went ahead and used it on the bow and the other sunflower. That way I just get a good hold. Okay, you guys, here is the final reveal. Once again, I'd like to thank the host and the co-host today for having me on the playlist. And I just want to remind you guys, don't forget to check the playlist out in my description box so you can watch all the other crafters that are making wreaths today. Everyone is so different and so unique, and I just love it. It's super amazing. So was my cat your favorite, or was this glitter wreath? We're going to call it the candy corn glitter wreath. Did you like this one? This one kind of gives off a little bit of those spooky vibes as well. Or did you like my sunflower candy corn? This one was super unique. I really love this one. I thought this one was really cute. And of course I love sunflowers, so I always like to add sunflowers when I can into my DIYs. Love it. Super adorable. And then I thought, why not do something on the back of it as well? I had time, might as well. And this is what I came up with. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You'll have to let me know, was this side or that side your favorite as well? I really like both of them. Kind of reminds me of those big old sunflowers that you see with like the huge centers. Okay, here's the cat. This is number 1. Number 2, so unique. I thought these were all super unique, you guys. Number 3, or is the other side of number 3, number 4, going to be your favorite today? I just want to say thank you for watching my channel. If you'd like to connect with me on Instagram at Sunflower Tasha DIYs, I'd appreciate that. That's my personal account. I also have a YouTube account called Sunflower Tasha DIYs Gallery. So I just want to say thank you and have a blessed day.